Hey guys, it's Mike Morris. I'm a professional storyboard artist, founder of Animation Dance Party. I've got my Wacom Cintiq Pro, I've got Toonboom Storyboard Pro 22 on deck, and I'm coming at you with some pro tips. Okay, pro tip number one. First of all, let's learn the difference between the brush tool, I'm going to make a mark with the brush tool, and the pencil tool. Okay, so the brush tool primarily, if you go to the Edit Points tool, this is white arrow, you can go and select the mark that you just made, and you can see all these various different points that this tool has created on the outside of the shape. I'm going to undo that. And let's contrast that with the pencil tool, which operates on more of a center line. So we can also manipulate these Bezier vector points and shape things how we want to with this edit tool. So you can also modify each of the Bezier curve handles to make new and interesting shapes. One other thing that you should know about the pencil and brush tools is that the eraser works on them either way. So if I go like this, and I'm going to make this a little smaller, and I'm going to turn my pen around, and I'm just going to draw a line right through it. If I select them, they all just separate. But you can see still here, let me zoom in on this. You can see the center line in the selection, and you can see the outline in the selection from the brush to the pencil. Pro tip number two, pay attention to the tool properties window. Here we go. Right here, the tool properties. Now all of the icons within the tool properties dialog box will change according to the tool you use. In this case, I have the selection open. I can choose a marquee selection, which is just a square drag, or I can use the lasso, which enables me to select however I like. There's a select by color function, which is really helpful. And if you want, you can also, like say I have a drawing right here, and I want to reverse it. I can just come over here to this operation, flip horizontal, or flip vertical, rotate 90 degrees, rotate it back. There are all kinds of different things that you can do with the tool properties box. Now, one of the things that is in the tool properties that you will find is in your brushes. Brush is usually my preferred tool of choice when I'm drawing. And it comes with a bunch of different stock brushes that you can use. I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger so you can see it. So all of these brushes, there's several of them that come stock, and some that I've created myself. Now, you can see that there is a little thumbnail of a brush that you could use. Say you want to make your own brush. You absolutely can by just clicking on this right pointing triangle. And that will bring up the vector brush properties. If I go to the tip, you can see I could have circle, diamond, or square for a solid vector. Or I could use a textured vector, which brings up a bunch of other options. And these are all small JPEG files. Black and white image on a JPEG file. You can choose you can adjust the maximum size, you can adjust the minimum size. So if I take the maximum size up and the minimum size up, you can see that it makes more of a brush that doesn't have that pressure sensitivity to it, if that's what you like. I'm going to take that to 0, and you can see now it has much more sensitivity, which is one of the reasons we use Wacom tablet, right? For the sensitivity. So I'm going to come down here to one of these textured brushes that I already have. Come down to texture number 3. You can see now that this texture 3 is highlighted. And as I draw, the underlying texture shines through. So tool properties is definitely something to explore. There are options for every kind of tool. Your camera tool, your layer transform tool, hand tool, color eyedropper, paint bucket, all kinds of different tools. Each have their own tool property. Pro tip number 3, resizing drawings over multiple panels. Okay, so I have this scene here with a guy who's complaining to a lab technician about his experimental hair tonic that has just exploded his hair growth. Now, if I select the layer that he's on, and the layer that he's on is all named A over all of those panels, I'm going to go to the first panel, hold down Control Shift or Command Shift on a Mac, and then select the last panel in the bunch. I can go to Control A or Command A on a Mac, and then I can just adjust him down enough so that he is comfortable in the screen on his last panel. Maybe shrink him down a little bit. You can move characters, you can do any number of different things with this. It is selecting all those drawings over the multiple panels. And then when I play it back, it fits. Pro tip number 4, cleaning up drawings using the color selection tool. All right, so I have this drawing here, and now it's time to clean it up some. So I'm going to come over here to just a standard brush, and I'm going to change it to black so it stands out. And then here we go. I'm just going to start cleaning up this drawing. Okay, now that I've got my drawing cleaned up, I can just, if you come down to the selection tool, you can go select by color. So after I use select by color, then I can just delete that underdrawing, and now I have the cleaned up panel. All right, pro tip number 5, the preferences. So I'm going to go to Edit, Keyboard Shortcuts. On a Mac, it would be under the Apple symbol. You go to your preferences, and you can find all kinds of various shortcut keys that you can manipulate and customize to your workflow. For instance, play and navigation tends to be the one that I change the most, because I'm also a Toonboom Harmony user, and in the hand-drawn workspace, F and G are the keys that you go between keyframes with. So I changed my previous panel and next panel to F and G instead of the default of A and F. So in next panel, I have press shortcut key G. So if I go to the default, you see it defaults to F, and I already have that set. I'm going to cancel that. And mine is at G. So you can clear whatever is here and then type in what you want. And that works for just about any setting in here that you can think of. So once you've identified the tools you use the most and you've got your workflow all set up, you can automate even further or refine your workflow even further using this EK remote. So this is from Wacom, often found with the Cintiq Pro, by the way. And you can use the Wacom tablet properties. I'm going to pull that up really quick. Right here, and you can, on the EK remote, basically program all of the keys here to do what you need them to do. So I can have this button go back and forth. I can set that to my next panel, previous panel, and on and on. You can customize this any number of different ways. So find your workflow, get out your EK remote, and put the keyboard for only when you need it.